here. Okay, now I started sharing my record to Srini. Now, if I log in as a product manager as a Dana, she can see that record. Here. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you can see. Yeah, yes.
Yeah, is that clear?
Yeah.
Because he's owning means the top permission, like the top management can see the bottom user records. So whenever he is the owner of the record, then it will inherit to the top levels. So okay, now there will be another scenario. Okay, now irrespective of the profile, I want to share the customer to across all the users. How do we do that? Because either you have to go and modify all the profile to give a permission for view all. So instead of doing that, I have another options. So let me go to the sharing settings. Edit. See here, I can make it as a public read only. If I done the public read only, now irrespective of the profile access, everybody can go and view the customers. Can you check like everyone, including Bhaskar and yeah, Kishore, yeah, including Dana. Let me show you like Dana as well. So yeah, here
All the records.
because I have done the changes on OWD, organization wide default. So basically the OWD is the higher control, like higher priority. So irrespective of the profile, but again, it will impact across all the users within the company. If you do any changes on the OWD, it's applicable for across all the users within a company. Now they can see it, but they cannot edit it. If they try to edit it, they will get a error, insufficient privileges.
For me, I do still see only 2 profiles.
No, select all, please. Select all from the list view.
Or recent list. Okay. Yeah, I can see now. Yeah.
Yeah. So now the user can see all the record, but they cannot edit other user records. Now, if I make it as a public read write, so I'm going to change to public read write. Now what will happen?
You can edit the record.
Edit as well.
Yes. So basically they can see other user records and also they can edit other user records. So for example, if I go for mine, see, at the time the last modified by the name will come like Dana only, created by this and last modified by Dana because she edited the record, right? Okay, so that is the impact on sharing settings. Now if I don't give a permission on her profile, so let's say for Dana profile, which is product manager, so on her profile I am removing the edit permissions, the basic permission I am removing. If I remove the edit permission, what will happen? Hello?
Yeah, she will still be able to view the records, but can't edit.
Yes, she can't edit even her record as well. So whatever she created, even she cannot edit her record because still is there like edit button? No way. Yeah, entity cannot be updated by customer. Yeah, so but it's cookies, so yeah. Okay, so at least minimum the basic permission the user need to have. Then depends on the OWD. If public read only means they can view it, Public read write means based on the profile basic level access. If from their profile, if they have edit permission means, yes, they can edit other user record also if OWD setting is public read write. If public read only, in OWD, like in their profile, they have edit permission, they cannot edit it because it's a read only. They can edit only their record, they cannot edit other user record. If it's a private, it's a private by everyone. So nobody can edit other user record, like they can edit only their record, depends on their profile settings.
And even they will not be able to view, right, in private.
Yeah, private, they cannot see other user record, yes. So now I change it as a private. Now if I go for it, see, this is shared by Srini. That's why like she can see it because Srini controlled by like, yeah, Srini is reporting to Dana. Because of that, like, yeah. But at the moment, our profile, she don't have edit permissions. She can't even edit like a record as well. So, okay. But again, if you want to override that permission means on the profile, you can go and give administrative permissions, which is view all and modify all. The same way for Srini alone, I want to give a permissions. So Srini is basically sales manager profile. If I go to sales manager profile, I want to give for Srini alone edit permission for all the customers. So how can I give that? So basically, I have to log in as an administrator and go to the profile, sales manager profile. Then there will be a data administration part. So let me show you that. Still like it's not loading. Yesterday I upgraded like my OS. I think like it's causing some issue. The new Mac OS. See here, now if I want to give a edit, modify all permission to Srini, see by default it's ticked everything. So if I give, it will take automatically all. So modify all means it will come automatically. So we cannot remove the delete permissions if you are giving the modify all, because if I give a modify all, only Srini alone can edit the customer irrespective of the like, yeah, owner. Srini can edit it. Let me show you that. Because sales manager, he need a more permissions, or maybe finance, he need a more permissions. We can give it only finance profile. Finance user can edit across all the customers. We can give that, right? These are all the real time scenarios. So for finance user, he need to have a edit permissions. So at the moment I given to Srini. So if I log in as a Srini, basically the sales manager. So see, he can edit and he can delete as well. And also see, not only other user record also, he can go and edit it. So let's say like if I go for Uday Bhaskar, so edit and I put a test. See, is that clear?
I got a one point, Sampath.
Yeah.
Here, the product manager wants to share only the records of the current year, 2020, to the sales manager.
Yeah.
Is that possible in the admin, or we need to write an Apex code?
He can, yeah. Basically, he has as an administrator, you have to go to the conditions. There is a criteria based sharing rule. So if I go here on the sharing settings where we modified it,
yeah.
Basically, I will refresh the screen. So I am going to where is the customer? Yeah. So let's delete this. See, you cannot, once if you put the rule, you cannot modify that. Either you can change the access level only, read only or read write, but you cannot modify. So what you can do, you can create a new rule, use the criteria based. So put a conditions. So create a date, so on so date. or you can use like a custom fields. Maybe for those record, you can have some conditions. So based on the condition met, you can share it.
Okay.
So let's say overall date of birth is like from so and so year, you can put that.
Okay.
Or let's say age is greater than 50. To have age field. Okay. And one more thing, formula field cannot be used on the conditions. So you need to make it as a either number field. From the number field, yes, you can share it. Formula field cannot be used as a conditions. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Sampath.
Cool. Any other questions? So there are two rules based on the record owner and based on the criteria. And also we can use the Apex code to share a record. So there are some complex scenarios. If we are not able to achieve the standard sharing rules or manual sharings or maybe like a process builder or flow, then you can go for a coding. So that is called Apex sharing. We can use the trigger to share a record or Apex class to share a record.
So, but there is no way to delete those.
Sorry?
And there is no way to delete the sharing rules.
Yeah, you can know. So if I go for here, you can delete it. Only you cannot modify it after created it. You cannot modify it, but you can go and remove it. So there is a delete options.
Okay.
Yeah, I removed it now. Okay, so let me go back to the Excel sheet now. This all we are done. Now if I go for overview, okay, now I will give an overview again. So OWD, we have three types: private, public read only, public read write. Now we are aware of it. And the profile level, we can give basically CURD permissions: create, read, edit, delete. View all and modify all is basically data administration permissions. Basically, it will go and override the OWD settings. The data administration permissions, view all and modify all permissions, it will override the OWD settings because OWD it's a private. On the profile level, on a specific users, if you want to give a permission, go to their profile and give a view all. Then they can see all the record. Only that particular profile users, not all the users. Basically, on that current profile will go and override the OWD settings. Then you can share the record based on the role. Based on the role or hierarchy, the record will be shared automatically. Then sharing rule, we can use a manual sharing using the button which I showed you. Again, the share button is visible only OWD setting is private or public read only. In OWD, if you have a public read write, there is no use of sharing button, right? The button itself is not visible because already shared with everybody with read edit permissions. Then why you need to share it again, sir? The button itself is not visible. If it's a private means the button is visible so that the user can share the record manually with read permission, edit permissions. If it's a public read only, the button is visible because the user can go and share the record with the write permissions. And then the administrator can go and configure the sharing rule, automated sharing, but only admin. Then developer can write Apex sharing, which is called Apex sharing. He can use trigger, Apex class or flow. The flow can be done by either admin or developer also. So basically both. But through flow also we can share a records, which I will cover you on the automation part. Okay. Okay. So if we are all clear, let's move on to the matrix now. Here is the matrix. Okay. So maybe like I can clone this matrix. I don't want to change this. So clone.
Duplicate.
Let it be. Let's use like a different role. Why we need to change this actually? Yeah. Let's use the different roles. Yeah. Now assume there is a company. In that company, whatever we done it, just I'm going to show you in the matrix. Okay. Okay. So we have a role called team lead, developer, tester, business analyst. Okay. We have a role and also we have a profile, separate profiles. These are all separate profile. Now, let's assume like we have a users and each user created two record. Assume like they created 2 records. They have a permissions for create on the customer objects. They have a permission for sorry, yeah, I will go and type it manually better. So they have a create permissions. Assume like BA don't have a create permissions. First we'll go for OWD. OWD is private and the role hierarchy is enabled. Team leader, like basically developer and tester reporting to team lead. BA is not reporting to team lead. BA is a different role. She is reporting, basically BA reporting to different role. But these two reporting to team lead role. Now, I have given a read permissions here also, here also, here also. But here I didn't give a read permissions. But without read permission, we cannot give a edit permissions. We cannot give any other permissions. Suppose if you are not giving the read permissions, if there is no read permissions, the user don't have any other permissions. Basically, we cannot give any other permissions because read is list. So in order to create or edit, they need to have a read permissions. If there is no read permissions, they don't have any other permissions. I will give a read permissions and also I will give edit permissions. Okay. Now assume each users created two record or five record. Assume like each user created a 5 records. Okay. Now tell me how many record team lead can view?
15.
15.
Good. Developer?
5.
5.
Tester?
5.
BA?
5.
Correct?
Yeah.
So here they created only 5 records. Just I will go and put like they created 5 records. And I'm giving a edit permission for team lead and tester. I'm giving edit permissions. Here I'm not giving the edit permission for developer. Here also I'm not giving the edit permissions. Now, how many record team lead can edit?
5.
10. So, sorry, altogether is 25.
How many record can
Two
edit?
subordinate.
5.
20.
What about others?
15, sorry.
Okay.
15.
15 is the right answer basically.
Hmm.
Why?
Team lead, developer and tester.
The tester reporting to
They're
team
working
lead.
on the
Yes, because tester reporting to team lead, developer reporting to team lead. 5 is 5 total. 15 record he can edit. Tester, how many record can edit?
5. 5.
Good. Developer?
5.
I didn't give a permissions. I didn't give yes here. So basically it's edit permissions. So I didn't give a permissions. So they can edit.
Okay.
Yeah.
0. Okay.
Now, if I give a view all over here, so let's say like here, I'm giving a view all permission for BA. How many record he can edit? So he have edit permissions. How many record he can edit?
View all, right? It's only
View all means
View all. But how many record he can edit?
5.
Good. Bold. Okay. Here, how many record he can, but how many record he can view if it's a view all?
20.
20 here.
Exactly. Yeah, is that clear?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the view all permission I enabled it, so you can see 20 records.
Yeah.
Same way, public read only. So just I'm going to copy the same scenario. So assume like a 5 record created by each users. Now consider like he has a edit permissions, read permissions. Yes. Okay. Assume like in this scenario, I'm not giving the permission for this user. There is no permissions. But OWD settings, public read only. I didn't give any permissions, or I don't want to give any permissions. I didn't give any permissions. He didn't even created like any records. That condition. Okay, yeah. So team lead created a 5, developer created a 5, tester created a 5. Now, how many record he can view it?
15,
This user,
5,
developer.
5. Oh, sorry.
15.
No, 15, 15, 15. Yeah, 15. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone has said 15. Yeah.
And BA 0.
Zero.
Because
0,
you are
0.
fine. Okay. Now edit permissions. So let's say 5, 5, 5. Now I'm giving edit permissions for him. Edit permission for him, not tester. Okay, assume tester also edit permission. No need. Yeah. Okay, let it be. Okay, how many record can edit for team lead?
15,
Developer,
5,
tester.
5.
Good. Now, if I am enabling the modify all permissions
Mm-hmm.
for tester, how many record can tester edit?
15.
15.
And he can delete 15 records basically, because I given the modify all data administration permissions.
Yeah.
For BA anyway, all 0 only, because there is no permissions, so you cannot see any. Same way, public read write. Now let's talk about the public read write. So user created 5 record. Okay, 5 record, 5 record. Here also 5 record. Here also 5 record. Here also 5 record. Assume I'm giving a yes. Here also yes. Nothing else here. Yeah. Yes. This also yes. This also yes. Okay. Now, how many record you can view?
20,
Developer.
20, 20.
I'm giving edit permission here. Yes. Here yes.
But if we keep the scenario like reports different role, that will be different, right, Sambal?
Yeah. So that's why, like, I'm even the different role that here there is nothing will come and play report or profile, nothing come and play, because OWD high level.
Okay.
In OWD we have high permissions like a public read write, irrespective of the owner, irrespective of the permissions, irrespective of the profile, the record will be shared. Okay. How many record they can edit? For team lead, how many record can edit?
20.
Developer.
Developer, they can edit only their records.
I didn't
20
give a
records.
yes here.
Yeah, they can't edit.
Tester.
Tester also 20.
BA.
20.
Okay. Yeah, if I give a delete permissions, how many record he can delete?
20.
No.
20. But if I give a delete permission here, how many record he can delete?
15.
That's right. No. Okay, yeah. In this scenario, I think like yeah.
Team lead is correct, but developer means it's 5.
Yeah, developer means 5, but let's assume like I'm going to put like a B also. So let's say like a B also creating a 5 record. I assume like a B also I'm going to give up permissions. Just look at the scenario one more time. So B also created a 5 record. You can see 15 record. He created a 5 record. And I didn't give a permission. Now how many record he can delete?
To tester or team lead?
Team lead. I'm going to give a permission to team lead. How many record team lead can delete? Sorry, not this. Team lead, how many record can delete? 1 second. Before that, I will modify the count. 20, 20,
Yeah.
20. Yeah, so these users can see 20 basically. This is also 20. Only 5. Okay. This is 5. Sorry, I am here. So look at, like, I may need to give one more row differentiation actually. Yeah. So only these 4. So 20, they created a 5 for each. And they can, how many record they can edit? 15. 5. He can edit
5, right?
No, because I given a modify all permissions, he can edit 20
Okay.
and he
Okay.
can delete 20. Because modify all permission for tester. So he can edit 20 and but now I'm giving the delete permission for team lead.
Team lead.
How many record he can
Mhm.
delete?
15.
15.
Exactly. Yeah, so now you understood the security permission, right? So this is the one of the complex piece in I would say like a Salesforce itself. Like once if you understand the security model, it will be easy. So any question on this? Now you know how to share the record via sharing rules, role hierarchies, and other stuff also. So now regarding the delete, if I share a record to other users with read write permissions, and in his profile he is having a delete permissions, he can delete the other user record. So assume I am sharing a record to a Cine. I'm sharing a record. I'm not changing the ownership. I'm sharing manually with read write permission to Srini. At the time, Srini profile will have a delete permission. Can Srini delete my record, the one which I shared?
No. No.
Good. Because he's not the owner, he cannot delete it. Okay, so I think like that's all for the security wise. So okay, now let's jump into another 10 more minutes. Is there like we can go for like a field level security now? Now we know object level we controlled it, record level we controlled it. Now let's move on to the field level. Okay, so at the moment who I am logged in, which user I logged in? Cine. Okay. Now I logged as a Cine. Now for Cine, I don't want to give a permission for address informations. Assume like otherwise I don't want to give a permission for custom photo or additional informations. So how can I restrict that? At the moment, like this is a Visualforce page, that's why he's not able to see it. Now I want to restrict for Cine alone additional informations, social information. I want to hide it. How can I hide that? So basically, I don't want to give a permission for additional information sections and social information sections. So how can I restrict only for Cine? So what are the ways we can restrict?
At the profile level, select his name and then hide it.
Okay, so one option is I can control via profile. What else? See, other option is that we can create a different page layout and assign the page layout for Cine. So if I go for a Cine profile, which is what is the profile for Cine?
Sales manager.
Yeah. So there is a page layout assignment also. So we can create a different page layout and removing like those fields and assign the layout to only for his profile.
Okay.
So where is the page layout assignment? Custom object. Yeah. This is a page layout assignment. For customer, we can create a different page layouts and assign to only that profile. See here, if you have a different layout, we can go for where is the profile sales manager. So if you have a different layout, you can choose from here and assign to only this particular profile. So at that time, whenever he logged as a, whenever like the sales manager logged in, they can see their page layout. So that is the one options. So other option is through field level security. So how we will do the field level security? So just I will show you like a field level security. See here on their profile, go for field levels, look for a field level security. See this one. And look for a customer object. Edit. See here, you can remove the edit permissions. If you remove the edit permission means he can view it, but he cannot edit it. If you remove the edit permissions. If you remove the read permissions, so let's say what are the fields are there in the section. So Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. So let me remove that Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. See, Twitter, I will remove. If I remove read permission, it will remove automatically edit permission also. Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Okay, so now I'm controlling via field level security. Assume like only these 3 fields. Now if I go back here, if I refresh, still is there, just give me a second, it's cookies. No, still is here. Is there a right profile? Let me check. Srini is under which profile? Sales manager, yeah. Login. I'm logging as a Srini now. And I modified sales manager profile, that is right. And I removed the field level permissions. Now if I go to customer, Srini. See here, that section is gone. Basically I log out and log in, it will, yeah. So only you can see additional information. There is no social information, Facebook, Twitter, like those sections is not visible to that particular user. But if I logged as a different users, finance user or any other users, they can see it still. That is controlled by field level security. Any question on this?
On field level security, what are the most important things done in live projects?
Maximum, like, yeah, like it depends on the requirement again, I would say. So some of the profile, like we are not going to give a read permission also because they don't want to see, especially like if you go for an employee, if you are implementing HR management. So for salary information, I will give you only for finance user, not for any other users. So for those fields, like especially salary fields and other fields, I will completely restricted it in the layout, and yeah, we can remove that. Okay. We don't want to modify the page layout, so we can go on the control from the field itself. Why we need to create like unnecessarily multiple layouts? Okay. Yep. And another one more concept I forgot to highlight you. So we have a permission sets. There is a permission sets. Yeah. Now, what is the use of permission sets? At what time we will use the permission sets? So assume we have a 10 sales manager under the one profile, like there is a profile called sales manager. Let me go back here again. Yeah. So we have a sales manager profile. Yeah. So under the sales manager profile, assume like there are 10 users. Okay. Just a profile is only one, but how many users? 10 users on one profile. So under the sales manager profile, we have a 10 users. Now, out of 10 user, I want to give a permission to only 2 users. So 2 users, I would like to give additional permissions. For these 2 users, I need to give additional permissions. So remaining 8 users, no additional permissions. Yeah. Hello.
That's Sampath, yeah.
Yeah. How can we control this? How can we implement this basically? So one profile, we have 10 users. See, there are 2 options. Either we have to create a separate profile and assign to these 2 users. So you need to create a separate profile and assign to these 2 users. And for this 8 user, you need to have another profile. Like either you can use the same profile or like, yeah. But if you start creating like that, you may end up with creating a multiple profiles. So we don't want to do that. So to avoid that, to avoid creating a multiple profiles, simply you can go for a permission sets. So there is a concept called permission sets. So create a permission sets and give additional permissions and assign to these 2 user alone. the permission set will be assigned users, not for their profile, nothing. So directly go to the users and assign the additional permissions. So let's assume now for Srini, so if I go to Srini profile,
Even Sampath, you can
Yeah.
share it, right? Sharing rules.
but if it's a record level, yes, we can do that. Now let's say like I want to give a dedicated admin permissions, additional permissions, like creating a fields, creating object permission. Let's assume for finance user, I want to give a create object permissions. Yeah, so let's assume like I want to give a system permissions basically. So additional not only record sharing records. We can do like if it's a record level, yes, we can share the records and yeah, they can view it. But if there are additional permission, let's say like he want to create a custom object, or that user can go and put like additional validation rule. So let's say like a sub admins. So I want to give additional permissions. So for in that scenario, you can create a permission sets. So from the permission set, you can give additional permissions. So let's create a one permission set. So additional permission, I will say. So don't assign to any licenses, because if we put these specific licenses, we can assign only that particular user only, that particular license user only. So I'm not assigning to any licenses, so I can assign to different users, different license users. Here we have these many permissions. So you see here, system permissions and object permissions. So if you want to give object level permissions, go to that object settings and look for an object, which object you are going to give a permissions. Customer, edit. So from the profile, you can give additional permissions, like maybe like you can enable the modify all. So yeah, and also field level permissions you can. So I'm giving like a additional permission set with the full privileges. Now save. Now if I assign this permission set to a Srini, so let's go to the assignment. Add an assignment. See, either you can go directly to the users. The meeting going to be end in less than a minute. So please rejoin it so we can finalize it everything. Please rejoin. Yeah. So if I go for a user, take Srini. On the user detail page, there is a permission set assignment. Edit assignment. Here you can add additional permissions. So once if you assign the additional permissions, now Srini can see like even the field also. You remember like previously we removed like some fields. Now because I through a permission set, I given the permissions. So he can see like all the fields. Maybe like I have to log out and log in one more time. Just give me a second. I will log in as a Srini again. So basically the permission set will give you additional permissions compared to profile. See, you can see social media profile back. I didn't modify the profile, but using the permission set, I assign these permissions. You can see it. So basically permission set will help you to give additional permissions. And one other thing is that, so if I go for a profile, so we may need to go through all the system permission. At least you need to know what are these permissions. You remember I removed view setup.